Yesterday before.
See, I haven't seen these.
Nope, why not? Mr. Schwartz, are we ready?
Yes, we are.
This is a duly advertised meeting of the Joliet Zoning Board of Appeals. In our capacity, we hear petitions for relief from the strict provisions of our city ordinance. In matters of this type, the decision of the board is final in respect that it does not go to the mayor or the city council for further action. However, if you disagree with our decision, you have recourse in the court of record. We also hear petitions for variations of land use. In matters of this type, we act as an advisory committee to the mayor and city council, making a recommendation either for or against it. The final decision on land use is made by the mayor and city council. You call the roll, please.
Mr. Ferguson?
Here.
Mr. Graham?
Here.
Mr. Riggs?
Here.
Mr. Thompson?
Here.
Ms. Powers?
Here. Are there any changes to the agenda? Any requests for change to the agenda?
There are not, Madam Chair.
There are not. Okay, so we'll proceed with 2017-59 Dan Paul Truck Repair. Is there somebody here? Okay, come on. You want to read the petition, please?
Members of the commission.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Members of the board, this is petition number 2017-59 Dan Paul Truck Repair. The owner of the property is Trust CT LTC 1361. The location is 608 Railroad Street. This is a request for a special use permit for auto and diesel truck repair. The applicant is requesting the special use permit to allow the renovation of an existing site for a public garage for auto and diesel truck repair in an I-2 general industrial zoning district located at 608 Railroad Street. This request must be considered by the City Council following the recommendation of the ZBA. Under site-specific information, the petition includes two parcels. The first pin is approximately 66 feet wide by 280 feet deep for a total of 20,038 square feet. And that pin currently includes a 3,234 square foot warehouse. The warehouse was constructed in 1974. The second pin or parcel is 20,038 square feet in size, and combined there is 185 feet of street frontage and approximately 1 acre of land. The property in question is zoned I-2. This case was filed October 13th of 2017. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character, to the north is zoned I-2 general industrial, presently used for industrial. To the south is also I-2 general industrial and also used for industrial. To the east is the Des Plaines River, and to the west is I-1 light industrial, and that's currently vacant and industrial. Applicable regulations are as provided in your report. There's also the section regarding special use permit standards. And under discussion, the City of Joliet zoning ordinance states that an auto body shop, a B3 general business use, is allowed in the I-2 general industrial district as a special use when authorized by 2/3 majority vote of the mayor and city council. Therefore, the petitioner is requesting approval of the special use permit to operate an auto body / diesel truck repair shop within an existing 3,234 square foot warehouse in an existing industrial area of the city. Conceptual floor plans for this proposed business were submitted with this petition and show one principal ingress-egress from Railroad Street or Route 6 and two side ingress-egress points into the side yard. There are photos provided in your report. Both parcels include unimproved parking areas. In accordance with requirements of our off-street parking regulations and requirements from the city's Department of Public Works, all outdoor areas intended for temporary outdoor storage of vehicles, parts, or equipment must be paved. The Department of Public Works and Department of Public Utilities had no concerns with the plans to reuse this building and site. The hours of operation would be Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be up to 4 employees. The petitioner anticipates 1 visitor at a time. 5 spaces of employee and vehicular visitor parking will be located on a future paved area just south of the entrance drive. Additionally, there is 1 parking space available on the entrance drive just north of the overhead door. There will be adequate off-street parking with this new paved area and existing areas to accommodate the proposed use. And that concludes staff's report. If the zoning board, I should add, if the zoning board desires to approve this special use permit, then the following conditions would be included. 1, a paved parking area with 5 spaces shall be created just south of the entry drive for employee and visitor parking. 2, all parking areas shall be striped. 3, vehicles and trucks to be repaired shall be limited to 10 per day, 10 a day time period for storage. 4, no long-term outdoor storage of trucks/trailers, inoperable vehicles, boats, recreational vehicles, or parts, including tires, shall be permitted. 5, all existing gravel areas shall be paved. All temporary outdoor storage of trucks and trailers, inoperable vehicles, boats, recreational vehicles, or parts, including tires, shall be on a paved surface. 6, the building shall be repainted. 7, the property shall be properly screened with repaired or new fencing. 8, that the special use granted shall herein terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained. And the rest of this is standard language I won't read. And number 9, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation of the special use permit. That concludes staff's report. I should add one more thing. I'm sorry. There was an addendum that I was just made aware of. The planner on this project for Dan Paul truck repair, some new information I want to add to that you may have not, I don't know if you received it prior to the meeting or not. Planning staff has received an updated information that the applicant does intend to paint the solid metal fence. Planning staff also received updated information from the applicant in regards to his intentions for the 2 parcels. The applicant will not be utilizing the second parcel, that is pin 0716323002, and will not temporarily store vehicles in this space. Therefore, the applicant seeks approval for a special use permit based on the use of just parcel 716323003, which includes the 3,234 square foot warehouse building. If the zoning board desires to approve this special use permit, the following conditions would be included. 1, a paved area with 5 spaces shall be created just south of the entry drive for employee and vehicular visitor parking. 2, all parking areas shall be striped. 3, no temporary or long-term outdoor storage of trucks, trailers, inoperable vehicles, boats, recreational vehicles, or parts, including tires, shall be permitted. 4, the building shall be repainted. 5, the property, both parcels, shall be properly screened and repaired with painted fencing. 6, I mentioned earlier, is standard language regarding the termination of the special use if needed. And number 7, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and possible revocation of the special use permit. And finally, should the applicant wish to use the second parcel in the future, the following requirements would be in effect per the city's off-street parking regulations and requirements of the Department of Public Works. 1, all existing gravel areas shall be paved. All temporary outdoor storage of trucks, trailers, inoperable vehicles, boats, recreational vehicles, or parts, including tires, shall be on a paved surface. 2, vehicles and trucks to be repaired shall be limited to a 10-day time period for storage. And 3, no long-term outdoor storage of trucks, trailers, inoperable vehicles, boats, recreational vehicles, or parts, including tires, shall be permitted. So that was just a minor update that the applicant does intend to paint the solid fence, the metal fence, and also his intention for the parcels is to only at this time utilize pin number 00 ending in 002 for this for the business.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, for 003 is for the special use permit, if that's clear.
I have to swear you in. You swear your statements to be true.
Yes.
Your name and address for the record, please.
Excuse me?
Your name, your name and address for the record.
Jan
Could you
Zapotoczny.
speak into the microphone?
Jan Zapotoczny, 16524 West Split Rail Drive, Lockport, Illinois.
Did you have-
441.
Do you have anything to add to what Mr. Schwartz just read? No?
Nope.
Any questions by the board?
Do you have a problem with the conditions, paving all the gravel areas and that, painting the building? Is that okay with you? Don't mind?
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else? No? Anybody out there wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone opposed? I'll close the petition and ask for discussion and a vote.
Motion to approve? Second.
We have a motion and a second. Will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye. Thank you. Okay, petition 2017-60, Mr. Sofcheck. If you could, as long as we know that you're all here, you can go ahead and read the petition.
Petition 2017-60, the applicant is John Sofcheck, also the owner. Location is 530 Walsh Avenue. This is a request for a variation of use and a series of variations. The applicant is requesting a variation of use to allow the renovation of the existing structure back to its original 2-unit use, which is an R3 or 1 and 2 family residential use within the R2 single-family residential zoning district, located at 530 Walsh Avenue. The applicant is also requesting the following series of variations: a front yard setback reduction from 30 feet to 12 feet, a side yard setback reduction from 8 feet to 3 feet on the south side, a sum of side yard setbacks from 20 feet to 14 feet, and the lot area per family reduced from 7,500 square feet to 6,200 square feet, and lot width from 60 feet to 50 feet. Lot coverage also reduced from increased from 30% to 37%. Those are to address the existing nonconformities of the property. The property is 50 feet wide by 124 feet deep for a total of 6,200 square feet. It currently includes a 2-story brick building. The lot was platted in 1895. The building was constructed in 1926 as a 2-unit building. The Sofcheck family purchased this building in 1967 and utilized both sides of the building to raise their 10 children. The 1975 Cathedral Area Preservation Plan identified the land use category for this building as a 2-family and its existing zoning as R3, 1 and 2 family residential. In 1995, the city downzoned the property from R3 to R2, which is just single-family residential. The Sofcheck family still owns this home, but the home has remained unoccupied for several years. The interior of the building retains its 2-unit layout, with the exception of a single connecting door on each floor. A floor plan that shows the existing layout is attached. This case was filed October 13th of 2017. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character. To the north, the zoning is R-3, 1 and 2 family residential, presently used as institutional. That's the University of St. Francis. To the south is R2, 1 family residential, currently used as a single family home. To the east is R2, zoned for 1 family residential, and that's just a single family home. And then to the west is R3, 1 and 2 family residential, and that's also a single family home. Applicable regulations are as noted in the staff report. Under discussion, the requested variation of use and variations will allow the petitioner to utilize the existing building as a 2-unit residential building. The building was built in 1926 as a 2-unit brick building, residential building. The current owner purchased the building in 1967, and soon after this connected the 2 units with a single door on the first, second, and basement levels in order to make more room for his growing family. The owner then utilized the building as a single family home for several decades. The 1975 Cathedral Area Preservation Plan identified the land use category for this building as 2 family and its existing zoning as R3. In 1895, the city downzoned the property, as well as others in the neighborhood, from R3 to R2. And again, the property owner would now like to sell the building as it was originally constructed as a 2-unit. The interior of the building retains its original 2-unit layout, with the exception of that connecting door on each floor, and the floor plan is attached. I think I read a lot of this already. The setbacks of the existing structure, lot size, and lot coverage are non-conforming with the current zoning requirements, and therefore those requested variations are required in order to utilize the building as a two-family. The property includes adequate off-street parking with a 3-car detached garage and a paved driveway, and today, this neighborhood includes a mix of single-family and two-family homes. A similar 2-unit structure exists nearby at 811 through 813 Caton Avenue, and there's a photo in your packet provided. And right at this time, staff has no conditions. That would conclude our staff report. And also, I should say another addendum that I found out about today. The planning staff has received the inspection report from the Division of Neighborhood Services for the property, as well as a letter from the Cathedral Area Preservation Association, or CAPA, in regards to this petition, both of which are attached. The inspection report identifies a long list of violations, but the inspector noted that these are common with an older home and they are fixable with additional capital investment. The letter that is attached is dated November 15th, 2017, from Joe Fleischhauer, one of our residential property inspectors, to Mr. and Mrs. Sofcheck. And it indicates that a re-inspection is scheduled for February 26th, 2018. And I won't go through the violations, but there's a list attached to his letter. And again, you also have, I believe, a letter from CAPA indicating their position on this request.
I must swear you in.
Oh, yes.
Do you swear your statements to be true?
Just to be honest, that's not my statement, but that statement is true.
Your statements that you're going to make right now, you swear your statements to be true?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Okay. State your name and address, please.
Daniel Softcheck, Softcheck, 601 Terry Drive, Joliet, 60435.
Do you have anything to add to what Mr. Schwartz read?
I think everything Mr. Schwartz said is accurate. Yes, I don't really have anything to add, except that we asked that it be zoned back to R3, which I believe it was when we moved in there in 1967.
And hasn't been for 50 years? Or since 1975, let's say that. It's been R2 now since 1975.
Yes, I moved out of the property in 1974. I'm a son of John.
Mm-hmm.
He's not here. He's 95 years old, so.
Did you see the list of violations that we have?
And I never did see it, but I can only imagine what's on there.
Do you want to take a look at it? I mean, I'm assuming that these will all have to be repaired before you can even go to city council. Is that correct?
Not necessarily. No, those are ongoing. The next inspection is scheduled for late February.
All right. Do you want to see, would you like to see this?
Okay.
In the meantime, does anybody from the board have any questions for Mr. Sopcich?
Oh, actually, no, it's a variation. It's a variation of use. Okay, never mind. Carry on.
Pretty substantial. Anybody?
Yeah, Mr. Sofcheck, do you have plans to correct all this? You have a contractor lined up to do this work and accomplish all this?
My father's the owner of the building.
Okay.
I'm not exactly certain if he's hired a contractor, but I know he has an offer, a verbal offer on the property, and that person intends to, I think he owns a construction company, and he intends to make all the necessary repairs. That's why the verbal offer he made is not, I mean, it's not the best offer, but my dad was willing to take the offer, and that prospective buyer knows, he's been through the property, and he knows what is on that list, what needs to be repaired in order for the property to be habitable.
Any other questions? Is there anybody out there who wishes to speak in favor of this petition?
Other than us? I mean, other than...
Oh, did you have something to add? You said-
No, I'm in favor of it. My sister.
I have to swear you in. Do you swear your statements to be true?
I do.
State your name and address for the record, please.
Joanne Softcheck, 4537 North Hamilton Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. And I'm the daughter, one of the daughters of the property owner. And I would just like to add that my father being 95, would like to sell the property. And we understand from the realtor that it is very difficult to sell this as a single-family home because of the unique construction and design as a duplex. When it was originally built, it would make the oddest single-family home imaginable. And that's why we would like to get it rezoned to a duplex so it can be sold and can be brought up to code in the process of remodeling by the new owner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone opposed? Close the discussion and ask for, I'll close the petition and ask for discussion and a vote.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. We call the roll, please.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
No. And we were voting on all of that, the variation of use and the variations, correct?
Yes, you have the option of pulling them out and voting on them separately, but you were just now voting on the whole, the whole petition.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, next petition, 2017-61. Ms. Guzman, Mr. Guzman?
Petition number 2017-61, the applicant is Jaime Guzman, also the owner of the property at 908 Fisk Avenue. This is the request for a front yard setback variation for an enclosed porch. The applicant is requesting a variation to reduce the required front yard setback for an R2 single-family residential zoning district from 30 feet to 16.85 feet in order to allow continuation of a recently enclosed porch. The ZBA, or zoning board, would make the final decision for this type of request. The lot is 46 feet by 130 feet, or 5,980 square feet. It contains a single-family home built in 1908. The petition was filed on October 13th, 2017. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character in all directions is single-family detached residential, all zoned R-2. Applicable regulations are as noted in your staff report. Under discussion, the required variation will allow the petitioner to keep an existing partially enclosed 13-foot by 5-foot front porch, which was completed prior to issuance of a building permit. The porch was recently enclosed in order to prevent wind and rain from coming into the front or through the front door. The petitioner must seek a variation because the current setback of the porch is 16.85 feet, and the required front yard setback in an R2 zoning district is 30 feet. Many other homes on the block also have enclosed porches with similar setbacks to this request. The petitioner has enclosed the north and west sides of the porch with siding to match the house. Elevation photos are provided and attached. And we have no conditions recommended. I will add for the record that this afternoon I received a voicemail from a neighbor who could not attend the meeting today. She lives, I believe, at across the street, and her concern was with the arrangement and variety of the windows that were placed on the new porch. She expressed some concerns, so I thought I would just mention that. That was the only call that I am aware of that we received regarding this petition.
Are you saying that the porch is constructed? Yes?
Yes, if you look on this, the screen, that is the existing porch as it is today, with the new windows on the street elevation.
So this has been done without the zoning variation?
Yes.
Thank you. Are you both going to speak?
Yeah.
Okay, I must swear each of you. I have to swear each of you.
Anna Calderon,
Do you-
908 Fifth Avenue.
Do you swear your statements to be true?
I do.
Okay. And you're going to speak also?
I'm just gonna translate for him.
Oh, I see, okay. All right. Do we have to swear him in then if she's going to translate?
I would.
Okay. Would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear your statements to be true?
Yes.
State your name and address.
My name is Jaime Guzman.
Could you speak into the microphone, please?
My name is Jaime Guzman. The address is 908 Fisk Avenue in Joliet, Illinois. The zip code is 6436.
Thank you. Do you have anything to add to what Mr. Schwartz read?
No entiendo lo que
Nada
dijo.
más dijeron al cambio que se le hizo el porche de donde la cerré y todo y que lo construyó antes de que pidiera el permiso. ¿Algo quiere agregar algo?
No.
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 All right. Does the board have any questions for Mr. Guzman?
I have a question about the windows, but I'm not sure how to ask it.
Yeah, I'm a little, well, go for it.
What about it?
Why 4 different windows on the porch, Mr. Guzman?
Dice que porque tiene 4 las ventanas diferentes, de diferentes tamaños, las 4 ventanas.
Dile que porque eso ya estaba ahí, el material ya estaba ahí del dueño anterior y se me ocurrió hacerlo así.
He just used the material, I'm sorry. He just used the material that was left for the house for the owner. Before he buy the house, the material was there, so he just used it, like he didn't buy it. So basically, he just used what he had at the moment. That's why the windows are like different sizes.
And is that the concern of the neighbor?
Yes, the neighbor, one of the neighbors across the street had a concern about the variety and the arrangement of the windows not being in character with the original style of the house.
Mike, has the integrity of the porch been inspected? It's a solid structure, I take it?
I'm not sure if the permit would still be needed after the fact for the porch, and there would need to be inspections done. I don't know if those would have already been done. I believe they've been to the site to identify the fact that work was done without a permit.
How did we find out about this? How did this come before us?
I'm gonna defer to my staff to find out. I didn't, do you know, Jim? Oh. A complaint called into the, I'm told that a complaint was called into the building department that work was being done without a permit.
Without a permit. All right. Hey, any other questions? Is there anybody out there wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone opposed? I'll close the petition, ask for discussion and a vote.
Madam Chair, at this time, I'd like to move for a table until this permit can be issued and the porch can be inspected, and I'll have a better idea what I'm voting on.
If I could just add, the permit, I don't believe has been issued, so I don't know if there's a timing issue here. If they're going to issue a permit without the very, you know, we're in a catch-22.
Oh, I
They need the
understand.
setback variation in order to issue the permit, and that's what they're seeking today, is to reduce the front yard. If they issue the permit without your approval of granting the lesser
I
setback,
understand, that's your Mike.
we're out of order a bit.
Right.
Yes.
Take your.
Yeah, I'll withdraw that. I'll move for approval.
I
just
have
to
one
get this
question though.
straightened out.
What options do we have now that this is up?
Well, it will have to pass requirements of the building department.
No matter what we say
No matter
here
what,
today.
no matter what the zoning board, or if you could, I can mention that. The other option, if you chose to deny it, that's one of your options, they would have to remove it. So they wouldn't have the relief that they're seeking. The existing house doesn't meet the 30-foot setback. The existing front wall of the house is non-conforming, so it's grandfathered. But this porch was added after the zoning regulations specified a 30-foot front yard. So without your approval, that front wall, the porch walls, both walls, would have to be removed. If you approve, or you can approve it as presented, or you can approve it with conditions. Staff did not specify any conditions, but you did hear the concern of one neighbor regarding the size and variety of windows.
Motion? Anybody?
I'll move to approve it with the conditions that it,
Can I add something up?
Yes,
Like,
ma'am.
he was like saying like that
Into
windows
the
were,
microphone, I
I'm
can-
sorry. He even say when we put the petition on it, if the conditions were the windows, will like to put it on the same size, like keep the windows back, put it on the same size, like,
So you would make all the, you would change the windows out to
Yes.
have them all be the same size?
yeah.
yeah, that could be one of the conditions, yeah, that,
Do you, and do you want to specify a certain, that they be all the same size and you're not really concerned with the style or anything of the windows, just that they're all the same
it
size?
should be in accordance with the other windows, I would say, yeah.
Okay, so is that, I want to make sure that's acceptable before you place that condition, if that would be acceptable to the applicant to, in other words, the windows that are on the house?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to do windows that are similar to the windows on the house?
Yes.
The existing upper windows,
Yeah, upper
something?
windows, yeah.
And they would be the same size and they would be the same level and everything else, so it wouldn't be one here, one here, one
Yeah,
here? Okay.
everything the same.
I mean,
How many would you be putting in?
Like, probably the four of them, like the front on the front, or three, it depends.
And then the side window would probably have to be changed too, because that doesn't really,
One thing I might clarify, if I could, for the record, if this is where you're going with a condition, I'm not sure I would say that they have to be the same size as the upper windows, because maybe physically
Right,
they
they might
wouldn't
be
fit.
too big, right.
But you might, if you're going this way, you might want the condition to state or specify that they be of a consistent style, and that they all be the same on the porch.
That would be fine,
and the same level. I mean, you don't want
no,
them all over the
no,
place.
they should look like they belong there.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, that'd be fine, Mike.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Petition 2017-62, Fox Valley Signs.
Petition number 2017-62, Fox Valley Signs Incorporated, is the applicant. The applicant is the sign contractor for AT&T. The owner of the property is GW Fidelity PH LLC. Location is 2901 Plainfield Road. A request for a variation for signage to allow one additional wall sign that does not face a public street for the AT&T store, which is a proposed retail store to be located in a new multi-tenant building on the site of the former Pizza Hut building, which was demolished at 2901 Plainfield Road. The zoning board makes the final decision for this type of request. Jim? Under site-specific information, the 0.685 acre site, or 29,881 square foot site, is Zone B3 General Business District, and a new one-story, 3,397 square foot commercial building has already been completed on the site of the former Pizza Hut. The interior of the building has 3 tenant spaces. AT&T will occupy the middle tenant space of the building. Other tenants include the Art Van Pure Sleep store in the western unit and Aspen Dental in the eastern unit. This case was filed October 13th of 2017. Zoning, land use, and character in all directions is B3 General Business District. To the north is Home Depot, to the east is McDonald's, to the south is Wendy's, and to the west is, again, Home Depot. Applicable regulations are as noted in the staff report. Under discussion, the requested variation for signage will allow AT&T to install one wall sign that does not face a street. The wall sign will be installed on the northeast side of the building, which is the main entrance side of the building, to face the customer parking lot. A second wall sign, which does not require a variation, will be installed on the southwest side of the building facing Plainfield Road. The business also is proposing to reuse the existing internally illuminated pole sign and reuse a portion of that sign panel. The other building tenants would also share a portion of the existing sign panel. The proposed wall sign, which is the subject of this case, is again internally illuminated and will include a logo which is 4 feet 2 inches by 4 feet 2 inches and lettering which is 2 feet 6 inches high by 7 feet 10 and 5/8 inches wide for a total of 37.1 square feet. The identical sign that does not require a variation would be replicated on the other side of the building facing Plainfield Road. That concludes staff's report.
Swear your statements to be true?
Yes.
State your name and address for the record, please.
Donald Campbell, 216 North Lincoln Way, North Aurora, Illinois, 60542.
Thank you. Do you have anything to add?
I do not.
Any questions by the board? No? Anybody out there wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone opposed? Okay, we'll close the petition, ask for discussion and a vote.
Motion to approve?
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ferguson.
Aye.
Mr. Graham.
Aye.
Mr. Riggs.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
Ms. Powers.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Petition number 2017-63, Mr. Chavez.
Petition number 2017-63, the applicant is Hector D. Chavez. Property interest is contract tenant. Owner of the property is Filberto and Yesenia Magallanes and Sandra Magallanes Garcia. Location is 451 Ruby Street. The request is a special use permit and a variation. The petitioner is requesting approval of a special use permit to allow an auto repair shop in an existing garage space within a B3 general business zoning district and a variation from the requirement that no part of a building where repairs are conducted shall have any openings within 100 feet of any residential zoning district. Under site-specific information, the 5,720 square foot parcel is zoned B3 general business and currently contains a 2-story, 9,744 square foot concrete block building that was built in 1925. The building is divided with separate retail space in the front, storage on the second floor, and garage space in the back. An auto parts supply store, Aztec Auto Parts, is currently located in the front retail space, and they store their parts on the second floor. Throughout its history of use, the garage space has included many different commercial uses, such as a machine shop, U.S. Weather Bureau facility, and a Suzuki motorcycle shop. There appears to have been an auto repair facility, 5-Star Auto Repair, utilizing this space recently, but it did not have a special use permit or business license to operate, and it has since closed. The petition was filed on October 13th of 2017. Surrounding zoning, land use, and character in all directions is commercial. To the north, zone B3, to the south, also commercial, zone B1, and to the east and west is commercial, zone B3. Applicable regulations are as noted in the staff report. Under discussion, again, the special use permit is requested and a spacing or distance variance in order to allow an automotive repair facility within the existing garage. Chavez Auto Repair is a family-run business that is currently operating at 1820 North Broadway Street in Crest Hill. They would like to close that business location and relocate their shop to the subject site. The hours of operation that are being proposed for the new location would be Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The petitioner has stated that customer cars would be serviced within the same workday and picked up by the owners that same day. Vehicles remaining overnight would only be allowed to be stored inside the garage. Testing of customer vehicles on the adjacent neighborhood streets will be prohibited. The building has been in existence for many years and the property has a long history of commercial uses. There are 2 garage bay doors that exist, one along the side elevation facing Vine Street and one along the rear elevation facing an ingress and egress easement, and an attached survey and pictures are provided in your packet. If approved, staff would recommend that the garage doors and the rear elevation wall be painted to complement the other painted surfaces of the building. The interior area for the garage space will include an office/desk area, 3 work stalls, and restrooms. A proposed floor plan was requested by staff, but as of the writing of the staff report has not been received. Parking for the auto parts store and the rear garage space is currently located in the city parkway for Vine Street. If approved, staff would recommend that 6 20-foot-long parallel parking stalls be striped in the concrete parkway in order to allow safer pedestrian usage of the adjacent public sidewalk. As just mentioned, per the picture, you can see vehicles are actually now parking perpendicular to the building wall, and that impedes the sidewalk there. Parking for the auto parts store and the rear garage space is, I mentioned that already. Outside storage or overnight, for overnight of inoperable vehicles and spare parts on the parkway or rear access easement would be prohibited. In addition, staff would recommend that the existing dumpster that is set in the rear of the property be screened with a 6-foot-high decorative wood fence and opaque or solid gates. And the last statement, if the zoning board desires to approve the special use permit, the following conditions would be included. 1, that the hours of operation not exceed Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. 2, that the garage doors and the rear elevation wall be painted to complement the other painted surfaces of the building within 90 days of approval. That, number 3, that 6 20-foot-long parallel parking stalls be striped in the concrete parkway within 90 days of approval. 4, that no outside storage of customer vehicles shall be allowed overnight on the city parkway, streets, or the rear egress easements. 5, that no testing of customer vehicles be conducted with the adjacent neighborhood streets. 5, that a city business license be secured prior to opening. 7, that the special use granted shall herein terminate and lapse unless a building permit or certificate of occupancy is obtained not later than 180 days after the effective date of the ordinance. And the rest of the language is standard, which I won't read into the record. The last condition would be, should the property be declared a public nuisance, it shall be subject to a rehearing and a possible revocation of the special use permit. That concludes staff's report.
Thank you. I swear you, are you both going to speak?
My wife, yes.
Yes.
I swear you one at a time.
Okay,
Swear your statement to be true? Yes. State your name and address for the record.
My name is Hector David Chavez. We live in 2204 Francine, Illinois. Francine Avenue, Joliet, Illinois, 60436.
Thank you. You swear your statements to be true?
Yes.
And state your name and address, please.
My name is Beatrice Chavez, and my address is 2204 Francine Avenue, Joliet, Illinois, 60436.
Thank you. Do you have anything to add to what was read? Any comments? No? You do. Okay,
I do.
Go ahead.
We did want to fix the inside and wanted to paint it. We want to make it look nice from the inside. Okay, and then we're going to put a sink also. And we're going to put some furniture because we want to make it look pretty.
Thank you. Thank you. Any question by any of the members of the board?
Is there any floor plans on this building at all? I don't see any in the packet.
I'm told that they were given after, must have come in a little afterward. They are included in the PowerPoint presentation. So now on the screen, you can see the floor plan that shows a bathroom, three vehicle work bays, and the customer entrance. There's a storage parts area, as well as a compressor room. And there's a garage door noted in the lower right, which is on Vine Street, and then a garage door in the rear, which is off of their private parking lot. And you can see Ruby Street is on the left of the drawing.
We're going to have a stand counter office. And I think they put it on the plan.
I'm sorry, say it again. You're going to have a what?
It's going to be a standing counter office.
Okay. So not an enclosed room, just a counter.
Right.
Is there apartments or anything up above there? I see some windows in the back of the building and all. Does anyone live in the building?
That is the storage loft that we mentioned earlier. Staff kind of thought the same thing originally. It kind of looks like there would be apartments. That's one large open space, and all of those windows are just for it's all parts aisles and parts storage. In fact, the back of the building still has an overhead lift to come in through almost like a barn door. And that hoist is still, I believe the hoist is still there. I don't know if you'll use that or not, but that whole upper level is one large space, undivided with parts aisles.
How many employees will you be having them?
About 3.
3? So, and where do you plan to have them park? Your employees, where will your employees park?
The employees park, we use only 2 vehicles.
Only 2 vehicles?
Yes, one for my worker and one for my wife. We use same vehicle both.
Any more questions?
How long you guys been in business?
1996
Okay,
in Joliet.
okay.
We've been in business 21 years.
Okay.
Thank you.
First, we got married and then we opened up a business. And I put half of the money and he put the other half. And that's how we started, and that's kept us together.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Good partnership.
Anybody else? Anyone wishing to speak in favor of this petition? Is there anyone opposed to this petition? No? Yes? No? Okay, we'll close petition, ask for discussion and a vote. We have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Please call the roll.
Mr. Graham?
Aye.
Mr. Riggs?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Mr. Ferguson?
Aye.
Ms. Powers?
Aye. Thank you. Now, this will go to the mayor and city council.
This will go to the mayor and city council, and staff will be in touch with you to confirm the meeting dates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice Thanksgiving.
First one?
We have
First meeting in December 4th and 5th. Pre-council on Monday, regular council on Tuesday.
We have a vote of aye for the approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Everybody ready to go? Motion to adjourn? Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
You have a good one too.
Thank you.
Yeah.